Hello and welcome back to the Icons of Sin. Me and Chris are back. How are you doing, Chris?
I'm good. I'm still without internet, so we're on mobile data again.
Yeah, you have been having some serious internet issues. The company finally gave you some mobile data, though, didn't they? Which is something.
Yeah, they gave us 50 gigs each, and then they've recently given us another 40 gigs each.
Right. Well, that's the least they can do. Really.
Yeah, it's been almost 2 weeks for that internet now.
Yeah, goddamn
so
internet.
that's why there's been no uploads on the Chon games, because I've got stuff recorded, but if I try and upload via mobile data, it just rinses it, so it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not a good idea. This will still be uploaded though, and yes, apologies for the last show. If it seemed a bit odd in places, it's because we had a huge time differential between me saying stuff and you hearing it, so I had to edit it together, and then it cut out completely, but we made the most of it, and we're back now with a brand new intro to the show, and also Chris has been going and making t-shirts. Haven't you, Chris?
Oh, yes. The t-shirts have been ordered. We have some Icons of Sin t-shirts ordered. Yeah. They should be here in the next week, I'd say.
Excellent. So we'll get those online when they're available. Chris took the logo design and made your own version of it, which is on the t-shirts. It looks lovely. I'm looking forward to seeing it. We're getting a copy each, aren't we? We're getting a t-shirt each to have a look at, and excited to see what they come out like, and then we will. We'll put them on sale if anyone fancies an Icon of Sin t-shirt, and why not?
I've already got someone who wants one.
Excellent, yeah. So it should be good. Well, it's always nice to have these things. If people fancy it, people fancy supporting the show. We're ad free and all of that stuff on YouTube, because that's annoying as hell. We mostly do this for fun. But if people would like to, buy a T-shirt and help the podcast, that will be most appreciated. And they do look very cool from what I've seen of them. So looking forward to those arriving. Anyway,
should be soon.
What have you been playing, Chris?
Well, because I've had no internet.
Zero.
I've been playing. Yes. Well, I can play on data, but I don't really want to.
Let's not do that. That's a terrible idea, especially with modern games. It's so much internet traffic. Yeah, not good.
And actually, I've been playing a lot because I haven't been able to walk.
Oh, really? So that's another thing as well. We couldn't do last week's because you were feeling really faint. You weren't feeling very well. So how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good now, but I can't walk for another reason.
Oh.
So I had no internet and was ill for a week. I still have no internet. I feel fine now.
That's good.
But one of the light bulbs blew in the house, and I was cleaning it up, and I thought I cleaned it all up, but there was a bit on the stairs.
Oh, no. Glass in the foot.
I was walking. Yeah, right on the ball of my foot, really deep. I actually need stitches, but there's no appointments yet.
You die-harded your feet.
Yes, really bad.
Dude, glass in your foot is just the worst. That's horrendous.
Yeah, it's not just a light step on it. I put my entire weight on it because it was on
so
the stairs.
You basically it needs stitching up.
Yes, I need stitches, but there's no appointments, so I've got paper stitches on it at the moment.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's been a fun few weeks for me.
It has, but with your foot injured and being ill and having no internet, what have you been playing, Chris?
I've started again on Horizon Zero Dawn.
Well, that's good. That might come up today.
That will probably come up. I've also been obviously playing a lot of Need for Speed, because I figured you could play it offline. So
yes, and you were just telling me before the show you've got every car in the game now.
Well, I've got the best car in the game.
Oh, well,
I've only got 7 cars.
There's no need for other cars, is there, if you got the best one?
Well, there is, because you need some for off-road racing, you need some for drift racing. But yeah, I got the Koenigsegg. I can't remember what Koenigsegg it is, but it's pretty much the best car in the game, and I've got it fully upgraded.
Well, that helps.
And put a ridiculously big spoiler on the back of it, because it's Need for Speed.
Well, of course. And as we've discussed before, Need for Speed, arcade game, should be silly.
Yes,
that's what we want from Need for Speed. We don't want a simulation, guys. I think they've learned that lesson now, though. They seem to be going back towards arcade fun.
I think so.
You know? It's like I don't want to buy a Ridge Racer game and get a simulation. That's not why I'm buying Ridge Racer games. It's not why I'm buying Need for Speed games. I want silly. That's the point.
I want stupid races that would never happen. Yeah. Taking corners at 100 miles an hour that would kill a normal person.
Driving ridiculous vehicles.
Spoilers.
And massive spoilers. Yeah.
Spoilers that don't do anything.
No.
I want police chases that are fun. Don't give me a simulation.
No, I mean, we've got like BeamNG for realism. And, we want fun with Need for Speed. It's meant to be silly. And, yeah. So it sounds like the new Need for Speed does that, at least, which is good.
It's here and there. It's get the police chases, because obviously your car takes damage now.
Yes, yeah.
So if you like try and burst your way through so many roadblocks, your car will stop working and you get caught.
Okay.
Unlike Most Wanted, where you can plow
just keep going,
a million,
just
a million
tank.
like SUVs and carry on going.
Yeah.
So the police chases get a bit what's the words? Take a while to get used to. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, take a bit more finesse and skill than they used to when you could just plow through.
Yeah, which is not my playstyle.
No, not well. At least not for Need for Speed, right?
No, not for anything. Just plow through ignorantly.
Just plow through ignorantly. Well, speaking of games where I can't plow through ignorantly, I've been playing through Satellite Rain, which is a game I've had for a while. I played, it's one of those games, sometimes you get a game, it's on sale, and you play it for a bit and you're like, I'm not really feeling this game, not really sure about this game. Satellite Rain was one of those, and it's fantastic. It's one of those games that I've revisited now years later, and now I love it, and I've been playing it this week. I've been having a blast playing it. So sometimes it is good to revisit those games that you're like, I'm not sure about that, Go back to it, give it another go. Satellite Rain, I don't know if you remember, because it's probably before your time, there was a game called Syndicate back in the day, a strategy game called Syndicate, and then Syndicate Wars, produced by Bullfrog. Peter Molyneux's studio back in the day. So
that's a name that keeps coming up.
Peter Molyneux comes up a lot. He's pretty prolific, or he was pretty prolific anyway. I mean, he is what he is these days, and people have their opinions on him these days, but he did make some of the best games ever made. So, got to give him credit where credit's due.
That was the most political way around that. It's like, he was good back in the day, but these days, everyone's got their opinion, not saying anything.
Yeah, I mean, he
we don't want to be mean.
Has a habit of over-promising and promising things before they're ready, and it's not a good idea to do that. Let's leave it at that. He's promised a lot, especially with Fable. Promised an awful lot, delivered not what he promised, which will annoy people after a while. But he made Theme Park, he made Populous, and he made Black and White, Syndicate. So Syndicate is it's a squad-based tactical real-time strategy game, basically. So it's set in like a cyberpunky future, and you've got your cloned augmented units, and basically you have missions to perform, and you perform the missions in any number of ways. And that was the thing that kind of was mind-blowing about Syndicate back in the day, is that you could do some downright horrendous things, or very creative things back in the day. It's a game where you could excuse me. It's a game where you could, if you wanted to, you could turn one of your soldiers into literally a suicide bomber and just walk them into a building and blow the entire building up. Or you could be very stealthy, very strategic, or you can go in guns blazing. There were a lot of options, especially for a game at that time. If you could think of a solution, you could probably do it in Syndicate, through augmentation, through strategy. And Satellite Rain is effectively by the same person. It's not by Peter Molyneux, who obviously ran the show at Bullfrog when Syndicate came along, but it's a game that's made by the same person that kind of was the lead on Syndicate Wars, I think. So it's basically the same game. It's not called Syndicate, but it's basically Syndicate. It's a modern version of Syndicate.
That actually sounds really cool. I like the difference between games we're playing. Like, you're playing like some like in-depth stuff to take strategy.
This time,
I'm just racing around, drifting, and getting in police chases.
Yeah, I mean,
games.
I do have my time when I'm just like, I want to play Doom 2, and I just play Doom 2, you know. But recently, I've just been like, no, I kind of like that cyberpunky universe, and I really have fond memories of Syndicate and Syndicate Wars. So it's nice to revisit, and you know, with more modern graphics, and now it's a massive open world, which is really cool. There's a nice open world that you go into, and you can take all the missions in different order, and you choose how you want to start off. You start off quite low, obviously. Your clones in the units that you're using are quite, they aren't very powerful. But you can do things. So once you're in the big open city, you can set up spawn points where you respawn and you reclone your units if they die. You can, for example, you can go and hack. You can go and break into the city's CCTV building and then hack all the CCTV so that it responds a lot slower and doesn't recognize your face after you've committed crimes, that kind of stuff. Raid weapons really cool. from weapons contractors and stuff. It's really fun game, and having a lot of fun playing it. So that's what I've been playing. But anyway,
I've actually also been, I think it was last episode when I said I was playing The Forest.
Oh yeah, what a terrifying game that is.
Yeah,
surprisingly terrifying. Actually, I'm guessing you haven't played too much of that more because you haven't had the internet. But
it's off. I play it single player, so it's offline.
Oh, you've been playing single player. That's even scarier when you haven't got friends.
Yeah, I can't find enough people who have The Forest to play with it. Play with me on it.
Chris,
I'm not very good at words this morning.
Chris, guess what?
What?
When you've got a PC, we'll play The Forest together.
I actually have a funny story to tell you about the PC in a minute.
Oh, go on. Okay.
But
tell me about The Forest first.
I've been playing The Forest more,
mm-hmm.
but the last video I put up of The Forest, like literally after I stopped recording, I died. Like I properly died, so it resets the entire thing.
You permadeathed, yeah.
Yeah. So I've been playing offline, building a base because I've built a base twice now. I built one and then I died properly. I built another one, stopped recording, died properly. So to save everyone from watching me build a third base, I've been doing it offline.
Building it before you film. And also the internet's down, so it's the perfect time to spend time building your base and getting your resources.
I've built a base on the coast next to a cliff, and there's a...
One access point, that's a good plan.
Yeah, but it gets better. I've put so many hours into this. There's a stone wall, which is because you can build a stone wall and then put another layer on another layer on.
Yeah.
So it's 3 layers high with a crane to get into it, like a pull-up platform.
Yeah.
And between there's a gap between the stone wall. Well, but in front of the stone wall, actually, there's loads of defensive spikes the entire way around the wall.
Nice.
Then there's a gap. Then there's a wooden spiked wall with a door in. And then there's my base, and then there's there's the shoreline. I got a hut there, and then you go up the hill a little bit. There's another wooden wall with spikes and a door. Behind that is my main cabin. So
nice.
I've nothing gets in.
How far have you played The Forest now? Because it gets weirder as you play. Creatures get more and more terrifying as you play.
They got an AI system. The more you deforest and the more you build, the more frequent the attacks and the stronger the monsters will be. So because I built a hell of a lot, but I haven't explored that much, I'm getting those weird leggy creatures. It's like...
They're like six-legged, weird
6 legs with no face and like 4 arms, Yeah,
they're good. Especially at night when you're not expecting them. Although they're quite terrifying even in daylight, those things.
Yes. Especially the noise, because I play it with my headphones on.
Of course. Because you should always play horror games with headphones on. Always.
No, it's not always a good idea.
It is if you want to be scared. I think headphones are key for horror games.
I use headphones not because I want to be scared, but obviously the sound is directional, so I want to know where they're coming from before I get scared. But that doesn't always help.
No,
because if I'm cutting down trees, I can't hear them. And I hear something, turn around, it's in my face. I'm like, ah!
Yeah, it's a good game. That it's good fun, terrifying but fun.
I haven't explored too far because I've been making the new base, so people don't Oh, pardon me. People don't have to watch me build it for a third time.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. And you'll be ready
Yeah.
when your internet's finally fixed. You'll be good to go.
Yeah, well, I've got loads recorded. I've probably got like 6 Forest videos recorded. I got some Need for Speed, and there was another game that I've completely forgotten. I think I got some more Dark Souls 3 actually. I know I've completed the game. I've completed all of them, but I've just got because I think I'm on my 7th playthrough with Dark Souls 3 now, and I'm super OP.
Nice.
So I've just been like a boss battle on my first playthrough that would take me like 15 minutes. Now it takes me about 3. So I've just been recording the boss battles and absolutely demolishing them.
Well, that's good fun. So plenty of John Games content to come soon, and it does mean you're ahead of yourself then. So if you need to take a break or whatever, there's still going to be content coming. So
Well, yes and no, because technically I'm still a week behind. There hasn't been an upload. Luckily, John uploaded last week and a few days last week, I think. But yeah, there hasn't been an upload in a week because we don't have the capability to upload.
I could probably upload something for you if you need. If things get
it'd
desperate,
take internet to send it to you.
No. I mean, I could record something and chuck it up there if you get desperate.
Oh, not desperate, but if you got some spare time, then I think we got a Minecraft episode or so left, haven't we?
Oh, that's true. I should. I'll try and dig that out. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I need to come back into Minecraft. I need to see what you've been doing.
Oh,
I've heard. You've told me, but I need to see it.
I've done a lot.
Need to see it with my own eyes. So, Chris, today we're talking about adventure games. A nice open topic. A nice, broad topic. Covers a lot of different games. Just gives us a chance to talk about some of our favourites.
Yeah, and especially adventure games. Sometimes they cross over to RPGs. We may talk about some games we played. We may talk about some games we've talked about before.
Oh yeah, I mean that happens. I've tried to avoid RPGs for the most part in my list, but if we get into RPGs, that is fine by me. Always happy to talk RPGs too. So
Well, some RPGs feel like adventure games to me.
A lot of RPGs are really adventure games, I think, and especially the light RPG games. I always think they're more adventure than anything.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're the same. If even when I'm playing like a non-role playing game, I still kind of role play in my head, like my character.
Of course. So
this is why I find it hard to differentiate. Someone's like, "Oh, this is an adventure game. This is an RPG." I'm like, "No, they're kind of the same thing." Don't you think?
I always think an RPG has an in-depth skill tree that you build as you progress through the game. I think that's kind of what I would differentiate between an RPG and an adventure game. But people disagree. See, like I've got Zelda games on my list here, and people would say those are RPGs. I wouldn't. I'd say they're adventure games. Each to their own. It's fine. But yeah, you're right. There's definitely some blurring of the lines. There's some blurring of the lines for sure.
I would class like Skyrim and Fallout as adventure games, but they're supposed to be RPGs.
I think they're RPGs / adventure games. Yeah, I agree.
But in my mind, I'm making my own adventure. I'm making my own story. So is that not an adventure?
No,
People
I agree.
Oh no, it's an RPG. It's like, well, I see it differently.
Yeah.
You can't say I'm wrong because it's my view.
I think they are adventure games as well, and we can cover those if you want to cover them and talk about them. Do you want to go first with an adventure game, or do you want to just have a general chat about adventure games? Where do you want to go?
I don't know. I could talk about the one I've been playing the most lately.
Horizon
Zero Dawn. Yes. Obviously, because no internet, offline games have been. Luckily, I managed to download a few before the internet went.
Yes, like you knew.
Unknowingly that we'd be doing a podcast about it. Just lucky. Horizon Zero Dawn, I've been playing it again because there's a new one coming out.
Is there really? I didn't even know there was a sequel coming out.
Yes, I can't remember what it's called, but there's been talk about it. Obviously, it's going to be on the PS5, which I don't have yet.
Yeah.
But I've been replaying it. It's such a good game. Have you played it or heard about it? Or
I haven't played it. I've seen gameplay and I've heard about it. It looks fantastic. It came out around the same time as Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it's very similar. it's two games developed separately, but seem very similar in their sort of approach to the gameplay. But tell me about it. Tell me about Horizon.
Well, you
it's post-apocalypse,
play as the character.
Right? It's like
it's kind of yes, but kind of no. Obviously, it is an apocalyptic setting. But like years and years after, where
everything's gone back to nature, hasn't it? And
everything's been retaken by nature. Everything's overgrown, and there's like tribes of people who have made their own communities and stuff. So it's not like Fallout, like straight after.
No. I just meant it is after an apocalypse. It's in our future or a potential future.
Yeah. And you play as Aloy, an outcast from your tribe, due to the mysterious circumstances of your birth.
Okay.
And you have to, you start playing her as a child for about half an hour.
For the tutorial.
And then, yeah, kind of. And then when you're grown up, you do kind of like, hunter trials to be accepted by the tribe that you're outcast from.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously there's a lot of machine robots, like Mecha Godzillas and stuff like that.
Well, I love a good Mecha Godzilla. So
the reference in there.
Yeah, why not? So there's like machines basically rule the earth. Is that because I see there's a lot of animals and creatures in the game, but they're machine, right? They're all robots. Yes. So is the Earth's kind of populated by robots, effectively?
Yeah, some of them are passive, some of them are aggressive.
But there's also
some are corrupted, because that's part of the main storyline. Like, why are the machines getting so aggressive? Why are they? The lights on them turn red when they're corrupted. So they're like,
that's handy. That's quite helpful to know.
It's you try and find what's going on. And it turns out that the machines were eventually, I can't do words today.
Is it Dr. Wily? Was it Dr. Wily the entire time from
Not
Mega
quite.
Man?
But they were made to help harvest stuff. So the machines were actually made by us,
of course,
but before it all went to shit, and something kind of
gave them life, or gave them
everything like kind of shut down. But the mysterious circumstances of your birth, you find out that you are a clone of someone that existed hundreds of years ago. And you can only get into what I think is kind of like a vault with facial recognition.
Right, because you're basically the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm probably butchering it, but
no, this sounds really interesting. I like this.
You slowly go through the world, obviously upgrade your equipment, buy new bows and spears and stuff like that, and you can get like skills. Like there's a skill where you can like skid, jump, and time slows down, so you can fire off about like 5 arrows in the air before you actually hit the ground.
Nice. It sounds fun. It looks stunning as well. The graphics.
Oh, it's absolutely just beautiful.
Look incredible. I mean, it's quite an old game now. Well, not old, but it's like
I think it's
5 years old.
One of the games that was released with the PS4, I think.
Yeah, maybe even longer then, I guess. But probably. But it really, really does look gorgeous. I know they've recently released a 4K upscaled version for PC of the first one. Which I will check out at some point, because it looks really fun.
Seriously, you will lose hours in that game. It's so good. It's so beautiful. The storyline, like most games nowadays, the storyline's a bit like half-assed, because they always emphasize on online. There isn't any online on this.
Yeah.
And the DLC, the Frozen Wilds, where you go to a different part, still in the same map but a bit further into like because you're in like a forest section,
like they always do with the with the Elder Scrolls games, where it's like, oh, there's an island just off the coast over here that you haven't seen yet, and DLC, here it is.
Yeah, but before the DLC came out, the frozen, because there's a big forest area, there's a bit of a desert, and then there's the frozen area. The frozen area was always on the map, it just wasn't accessible.
Right.
So it's not like they've added a new bit to the map, it's always been there. But it is really good, because it introduces a few new weapons that are really cool, especially like it's kind of like a marksman bow. It's
Great.
like a long bow instead of your short hunting bow that can go further and shoot different kind of arrows.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few new machines, and there's an entire storyline, almost as long as the actual original game storyline. So the DLC as well is pretty much an entire new game. It's so
great.
good. I know, it's very rare because normally DLCs are quite short.
Yeah, some nice value for money there. That sounds really good.
Yeah, no, I would 100%. If it's probably not actually too expensive now, play Horizon Zero Dawn. It's so good. The storyline is amazing. It's a game because I started again because I finished it, so you can start again on New Game Plus where everything's a bit harder.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've been playing on, and there's so much to explore. Like they call it the old world, like all the buildings, and there's because everything's grown over. There's some buildings are falling down into caves which you can go down and explore. It's so good. I would 100% recommend that game to you.
It sounds really fun. It sounds like a game I will get lost in forever if I start playing. And stunning graphics. That's the one thing I can say about it, having seen footage of it, and you know, it looks amazing. But yeah, adventure games is such a broad topic. I love it. Did you ever play any text adventure games? Any text-based adventure games? Probably a bit before your
what was
time.
it? Zork?
Oh, you played Zork. Well, I was going to talk about
Zork. That's it.
So there you go. Zork. I have very fond memories of Zork on the old C64 back in the day, and on DOS as well. So yes, text-based adventure.
There is one I used to play in school.
Okay.
It was like I can't remember what it's called, and it's annoying the crap out of me because I really want to play it again. Play it again. It's like kind of a medieval dungeon crawler, but
that doesn't narrow it down, unfortunately.
But I know, but it's tile based, and so
tile based.
So you click a few tiles to move forwards,
right?
And then
so it's not text based. It's got some kind of graphical.
Yeah, but it's also text based. It's you click a few tiles and you go, "There's a monster here. You got this % chance of winning. Do you want to battle?" And it's like, yeah. And then you got to click /type attacks. And I thought, for the life of me, I thought it was Broken Sword, but I googled that.
No, it's not Broken Sword. So Broken Sword's a point-and-click adventure game, which we'll get to. Actually, I've got Broken Sword on here as well. I'm really curious what this game is, though. Maybe it's like it sounds like an Ultima game potentially. Maybe a Calabash.
Well, it was something simple. The name was because we played it in school because it was a Flash game.
Oh, a Flash game. Okay.
Well, it was on. You found it on the internet, and you just sort of kind of like RuneScape used to be. You just you type in RuneScape, log in, play it on your browser. It was kind of like that, but I really can't remember the name of it because
we will have to try and
want to play it again.
We'll have to try and track that down. Some kind of old Flash game.
Find it,
people.
Games.
Find it. Try and find it for us. But
Zork. Broken Sword, but it was not.
Zork was so much fun back in the day. So text-based,
frustrating the shit.
yeah, but fun, and text adventure games for people that don't know what they are. Generally, it's just a wall of text. You have no pictures, you have no anything. Sometimes you get some pictures that go along with it, but effectively, it's a lot of reading. You get all of the text that tells you where you are, what you're doing, and then you type in what you want your character to do. So in Zork, you're just known as the adventurer, and you basically start in a field near a White House. And basically that is kind of your tutorial level, isn't it? And then you give your character orders, like you'd be like, walk forward or open the door or pick up, look around, see, what can I see? That kind of stuff. And basically, you go into this house and then you find under the rug, you find this trap door. And it leads into a dark cellar and then basically leads you into this, it's called the Great Underground Empire. It's like a massive land, a subterranean land hidden under this White House. And I had so much fun playing text adventure games as a kid. And I think everyone does the same thing with text adventure games. Doesn't matter what it is. You play it and you have real fun, and you're like, what can I type in? And you kind of experiment with what you can type in and what answers you get back and stuff. And then you get stuck, and then you just start putting in swear words and see what the game tells you to do when you put in swear words. It's like every kid did that, right?
I loved text adventure games, but I had a real problem with playing with them because obviously I played them when I was a lot younger.
Yeah,
and I'm dyslexic, so
that must have been difficult. Yeah, I can imagine if you're dyslexic.
I loved them, but every time I type in something, it goes, nope, don't understand. I'm like, I know the word. I know how to say the word.
I hadn't thought about that.
Spell the word.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but I imagine that'd be really difficult. But yeah, I've got really fond memories of Zork 1 to 3. Really fond memories of
3 of them.
Yeah.
I think there was only one.
No, there's the Great Underground Empire was the first one. Then the Wizard of Frobos and then the Dungeon Master was the third one. There may be more, actually. I've only played 3 of them. There was like a trilogy of them that I remember.
There was another text game. What was it? I think Granny's House or something, which was...
I haven't played that one, but that sounds fun. There's so many text adventure games. So many.
Yeah, it starts off like really innocent. Like, oh, we're going to Granny's house to help her. And so it's like, oh, yeah, I can. And then it gets like obviously it gets pictures with every screen. Mm-hmm. And it starts to get dark and like sinister. And we're like, oh, okay, this is actually a horror game.
Oh, awesome. That sounds fun.
Yeah, and then obviously because I was younger, my dad stopped me playing it when I got scared of it.
Yeah.
It's probably about like 8 or something.
But yeah, I used to love text adventure games like Zork, and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was a really good one. If you like Hitchhiker's Guide, you play as Arthur Dent, and
Never seen it.
Oh, dude! It started off as a radio play, and then became it was a BBC TV series. Obviously books. It started as books. I think it started as books. Either started as books or a radio play. And then we had the TV series. There's a movie. I think they were talking about doing a new series of it. Really fun, clever series. And there was a text-based adventure game based around that, which was really good fun. But yeah, text-based adventures always got a soft spot in my heart for those.
Do you know what else you just reminded me when you said about books? I've started writing a sci-fi book.
Have you really?
I have.
Do you want to tell us about it, or are you going to keep it quiet for now?
I've only got a few pages written, but I'm writing it about like post-apocalyptic stuff has been done all the time, but I upped the scale.
Okay.
Like an apocalypse has happened throughout the universe.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
So there's different planets with different people, obviously dealing with the same apocalypse. And you were originally a trader, but now you're like a lone survivor on your ship that's damaged, going around trying to survive, basically. Which I thought was really a good idea.
I like it.
There we go. Well, I've got validation. It sounds good. Brilliant.
No, it sounds great to me. Yeah. Do you know, it's funny, I haven't, just slightly off topic, I haven't written for a little while. I wrote, The 12th Day was the last thing I'd written, the movie script that we haven't filmed yet because COVID. So that's, films written and ready to go. So I haven't had anything to write for a while. And now I've been commissioned to write an episode for an audio book. Which I'm really looking forward to, called and I think the whole series is going to be called Aniline City, and it's like a noir serial killer story, and each chapter is narrated from the perspective of the villain, of the victim. So each episode is a victim, and you hear about that victim in this fictional city in America, and writing one of those. It's going to be fun. Episode 6, I think, is mine. It's good fun, about a drug dealer. A thoroughly horrible person as I'm writing him at this point. But that was off topic. But, while we're talking about projects and writing, I'm looking forward to reading your book, though. Does it have a name yet, or are you going to wait until the end?
It does not. This is the first thing I've ever attempted to write.
Okay. Well, if you ever want anyone to give it a read, I am always available to.
I was literally about to say I might have to come to you for your writing advice.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how good I am at writing, but I'm happy to give it a
Or
read.
well, maybe we can brainstorm a few things that could happen in this universe, and we could write it. Help me write it. We can write it together.
Absolutely, I'm happy to bounce some ideas around. Let's get back to adventure games for now, though, because I guess that's what people are listening for.
Yeah, we've got on a few tangents.
We'll
here.
come back to this, though. I will definitely, definitely happy to.
I'll update you every podcast.
Yeah, well, why not do an update? Why not? You know, we got projects going on. Let's talk about them.
Could even make a little section I could read an excerpt of it to see what people think.
Have you ever heard of Dizzy? Dizzy the Egg?
No, but it sounds like something from Disney.
No, it's not something from Disney. It's basically it's a sort of, they were sort of platformer / point and click hybrid games, kind of. It's basically it's a platform adventure game where you play as an anthropomorphic egg, basically, called Dizzy, and you live with your family and your race in a place called Yoke Folk. And, and basically you're just a big egg, and you have to generally defeat this evil wizard called Zax most of the time.
Is it a giant chicken?
I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll have to play it. Have a look. But basically, there were a bunch of Dizzy games back in the day on the C64, which is where I played them. I think one came out on Mega Drive. They did a remaster, but most of them were on the C64 and the Spectrum. But yeah, basically you played as Dizzy the Egg, and it's a platform game, but also you had to solve puzzles. So you'd like pick up items to use in certain situations, like, you know, I need to get across this bridge, but there's this guard stopping me going across the bridge, so I need an item to distract the guard or bribe the guard or do something like that. Or there's this big plant blocking my way and I need to poison the plant. How do I poison the plant? I need to go and find some poison. Really, really tough games. But as a kid, you know, before I played Mario or anything like that, Dizzy was like the first big mascot character that I remember. You know, like you know when you think like Sonic or Mario or, you know, Pac-Man or whatever. The first big one for me was Dizzy the stupid fucking egg. Really,
see, for me, it's if I think of icons in gaming of my childhood,
you think of me and you, of course, the icons.
No, I think of Tomb Raider, Spyro,
sure.
Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, Spyro. I need to get my my fiance into Spyro because I think she'll love it. I think she will love Spyro.
She will. There's the remaster. There's the first 3 games, the first trilogy. There's a remastered version, and it is so good. It's like an exact copy of the first 2 games, but with modern graphics. I've got it. I've been playing it as well. It's
nice.
So good.
Oh, that sounds fun. So, I think this nicely, you know,
actually brings me on to my next game.
Go for it.
Because you're on about platformers.
I am, yeah.
Which is it's an adventure game as well. Shovel Knight.
I love Shovel Knight.
It is the best. It's a modern game for people who don't know about it. Modern game that's a 2D platformer.
It's a retro platformer.
Yeah, it's made to. It's actually a really new game, but it's made to look like a retro platformer.
That's what I mean. It's a retro style platformer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so. I absolutely love the soundtrack. It's so good.
The soundtrack is stunning. It's very much like it's very much. It reminds me most of any platformer. It reminds me most of Mega Man in terms of the difficulty and but. Yeah, Shovel Knight is such a fun game. I love all the little the jokes. I think it's got such a good sense of humor. And they've got the co-op mode where it's not split screen. You're both on the same screen, but like Mario had, where you could play as like Mario and Luigi with 2 people. Yeah,
they've got that in it, and having an actual like dedicated co-op mode as well. It's been missed out by modern games. People still want to play co-op.
Do you know what I am obsessed with doing in Shovel Knight? Which is, it takes me so long to get through every level. I am obsessed with fishing in Shovel Knight. Like every
Same.
every time there's a pit, I'm like, I just got to dangle the rod in there, see if there's anything down there. Just got to be done every time. I can't help it.
I've not actually finished it yet, though.
No, neither have I. I've still not finished it, but it's a wonderful game, Shovel Knight. That's a really fun game. And I would say that's an adventure game because that's it's kind of an action platformer, but it has got some definitely some adventure elements. It's really fun.
Should we see if it's cross-platform?
We could see if it's cross-platform. Yeah,
that would be amazing for our. Well, I was going to say our first cross-platform video, but it's not our first.
It would be our second series of cross-platform videos. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
We'll have to have a look into it. I'm definitely up for playing some Shovel Knight.
We've got like now a massive list of cross-platform games we need to play.
We do, yeah, we do have quite a few.
Yes. I'll tell you that funny story I had about computers.
All right.
I was looking for. I was looking at gaming computers. My mate Aaron showed me a site with all and a list of all the parts I'd need.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, this would be amazing. And I just clicked the payment options to see if I could pay monthly and stuff.
Yeah.
But accidentally clicked pay on Chrissy's card. And obviously, when all our money comes in, I send it to Chrissy because her bills come out.
Yeah.
And it took it out. And I was like, oh, shit, no, we can't afford this. Then we were only left with 50 quid for the entire month. I was like, shit. We managed to get a refund.
Oh, my God.
But, yeah. Well, dude. I almost had a computer, but we would have starved.
Yeah, I mean, that's not starve. It's not worth starving over.
No, but I did. I just wanted to see the payment options, and it went, your payment has been processed. I'm like, no, wrong button.
I just wanted to look at the options. Damn.
Yeah. I mean, I would have been happy. I'd have been hungry, but happy.
Yeah. Well, it's not worth starving over, but one day.
No.
One day.
No. Chrissy was She was like, yeah, you did it by accident. It's fine. You've asked for a refund. It'd be fine. I thought she would have hit the fucking roof.
Well, accidents happen, don't they?
Yeah, but, so I almost had a PC, but I might have died.
Well, we'll look into cross-platform for Shovel Knight.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good fun game.
I think I'm going to play it after the podcast.
Yeah, go do some fishing off of the edge of things. But yeah, it's a really fun 2D 8-bit style game, or 8/16, sometimes 16-bit. But yeah, it's really fun. Really fun. Absolutely love Shovel Knight. And I'm thinking of adventure games. I think point and click adventure games are a big thing, big part of that.
Yeah, that's why I really want to find out what that game I used to play in school was called.
I wish you could remember it. We'll have to look in and see if we can find it. But I've got
I've done a lot of Googling and I can't find anything.
Oh,
but
no.
I really don't know what to type in for it. So I was like, point and click adventure games, dungeon crawler point and click, text-based point and click.
You'd have to try and remember specific things that happened in the game to probably try and get it, find it. But I was thinking of point and click adventure games and like Secret of Monkey Island and Broken Sword, as you said, another great point and click adventure game. King's Quest.
I've never actually played Broken Sword, but that was in my head for some reason because I looked at it because I typed in, I thought that's what the game I was playing, and it wasn't. But I was like, how do I know this game? I've never played it because I looked at the pictures and I was like, I don't even know what this is.
Well, I think there is Broken Sword. I think there is a mobile phone version of Broken Sword, a Broken Sword couple of games. So if you wanted to play them, they are available. Did you play any point and click adventure games? I know I've talked about Blade Runner before in the past. Have you played any of those, or were you more other adventure games?
I've played one.
Oh,
apart from the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
But this one again, I don't remember what it was called.
Right.
It was kind of like I don't want to say anime because it wasn't quite anime, but it kind of was.
Okay.
It's like you choose your hero, you click to go in a fight, you'd see the fight animated, and if you won, you won. If you didn't, and then you have to click to go different places to do like quests and stories.
Right.
But it was like a medieval game. Obviously, you're a knight or wizard or something. But I can't remember what it is. I remember it was 2D and it was like click, point and click to go places and do things.
Mm-hmm.
But for the life of me, it was another like browser flash game. I can't remember what it bloody called because this was so many years ago. This probably over 10, 11 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a
shame.
shame.
I played one like that, and it was really cool.
Yeah, I've got really, really fond memories of point-and-click adventure games, especially the LucasArts ones. Like Sam and Max Hit the Road, The Dig, Full Throttle, Grim Fandango. Really, really
Grim
fun.
Fandango.
Have you played that game?
I did once.
It's really good fun.
Just the name sticks in my head.
Yeah, it's got a really unique art style as well. Grim Fandango. It's a wonderful game. But yeah, really, really enjoy. I think it's a sense of humor with a lot of point-and-click adventure games that I like. With like Secret of Monkey Island and King's Quest, they've always got those really, really fun kind of humorous, comments by NPCs and just funny things. I always find that the early point-and-click adventure games were just so well written. Like Secret of Monkey Island is an absolute masterpiece if you haven't played it. And in fact, I think you'd like it because it's all pirates. It's all pirates.
I'm sold.
Yeah, I think you'd really enjoy it. You basically play as someone who's trying to become the most notorious pirate in the Caribbean. That's kind of your,
hell yeah!
That's kind of your task, and you have to defeat an evil. You have to defeat an evil undead pirate to. It's good, and then fall in love with the governess and all of that good pirate stuff. It's good fun. I think you'd really enjoy Secret of Monkey Island.
And for everyone who's listening, it doesn't actually know me personally.
Oh, you pirate obsessed?
Yeah, I'm pirate obsessed. I have a full pirate outfit that I go out on. I go out in quite often. I have multiple pirate themed tattoos. So yeah, to everyone who doesn't know me personally, to be like, oh, why would that be interesting to you? I absolutely love pirates.
Chris is obsessed with pirates, so
Right now, I'm staring at a pop figure of Captain Jack Sparrow and Barbossa.
There you go. Right now, I'm staring at
Groot and Mad Moxie.
Right now, I'm staring at a Godzilla head. Just yeah.
The trailer for Godzilla vs. Kong looks so good.
Doesn't it just? I've covered that on the Movies Made Us Do It podcast or so ago. But yeah, oh my god, I'm happy. I'm cautiously optimistic. It looks great. I'm looking forward to the
when I was ill, I was watching Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
I enjoyed that film. It got a lot of shit, but I enjoyed it. I had fun.
I think it was really good. I know a lot of people said, like, oh, every time there's a battle happening, it just pans to the humans. And it doesn't really, not all the time.
The first one did that a lot more. The 2014 American Godzilla movie, that did that an awful lot. It panned away. What's
the one, obviously, where Godzilla was looked different? It was 1998? 12?
1998.
It might be 1998.
It is 1998. I know Godzilla. I think it's probably 1998.
Oh, well, the one with when they go into the arena and there's all the eggs.
Yeah. Is that the one you're talking about?
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that 1998?
Yeah.
Shit, I thought it was 2000s.
No,
okay.
no, it's about, no, I think it's 98. I can't quite reach the film from here. It's over there.
You've got it. Of course you have.
Yeah.
It was I love that film though.
Godzilla fans hate that film, but it's
really?
I think it's fun. I don't think it's a very good Godzilla movie, but I think it's a fun movie. It's just, giant monster. Anything with a giant monster is generally going to have my attention, so, I'm a big fan of giant monsters. My first film was a giant monster film, so,
I'm guessing Godzilla's one of your favorite films then, if not your favorite?
The original, yeah. One of my favorites is certainly my top 5. Probably might be my number 1. I'm not sure. Maybe.
Have a guess on what my favorite film of all time is. I might have told you this actually. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I want to say like Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know.
That's second. Second.
I was close. Go on. What's your number 1?
Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, fair enough. That's a fantastic film.
A few years ago,
controversially,
when I broke my knee. Obviously, I was bedridden for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And everyone else is going to work, like my dad and my brother are going to work or college, whatever. obviously I couldn't move. So like, do you want me to put a film on for you? I was like, yeah, put Shaun of the Dead on. It's like, you can't really move to change it. And I was like, that's fine. I spent the like day after day just watching Shaun of the Dead over and over again because I don't find it boring. I always find it funny. It's amazing. Obviously, when they'd come home, I'd put another film in. But and obviously they could come and change films when they're home. But when they're going out for work, I was like, nah, just put Shaun of the Dead on. I'm absolutely fine with that.
A true story. When I was a kid, I was really ill at one point. I was just really ill. And my dad said, do you want a film or anything, while you're ill at home? And that was when I first saw 1998 Godzilla. So there you go. And it's not one of my favourite films, but, the same thing. I was ill and I watched that over and over again as a kid. So there you go. I've controversially always preferred Hot Fuzz than Shaun of the Dead. But I love Shaun of the Dead. It's a great movie.
No, the Cornetto trilogy is amazing.
Yeah,
Hot Fuzz is it's a masterpiece.
It's near perfect.
But Shaun of the Dead's always got that thing for me because obviously I do think about what would happen, what would I do in a zombie apocalypse? Because it's always in my head. I'm like, what would I do? And then that just portrays it. It's like two people have no idea what they're doing, don't really want to accept the situation, but they just want to go to the pub. Yeah. I'm just like,
why not?
This is it.
It's a tremendous movie. I love that movie and Hot Fuzz. Just so good, so good.
This podcast turned into the Icons Made Us Do It.
It's fine. We can go off topic every now and again. It's good fun.
Well, as we said, this format is us. Just
chatting, yeah. We're mostly talking about games generally, but if we go off topic, we go off topic. I could bring us back on topic. Have you ever played Flashback?
No.
Oh, you should play.
I have no idea what it is.
It's a platformer. It's an adventure platformer, and it's kind of cyberpunky in a way. You basically it's 2142, and you basically wake up. You're an amnesiac and you've been chased by mutants and you crash your hover bike into a jungle and basically you have to find out who you are and why you're there and what your mission is. So
it's kind of like Fallout New Vegas but with a hover bike.
Well, you don't have the hover bike. The hover bike is knackered once you crash. But yeah, it's an adventure platformer. Kind of got the mystery of who you are and what you're doing and solving puzzles, that kind of thing, in that very adventure-y kind of way. But yeah, really, really fond memories of Flashback. It always had like the most stunning graphics at the time because it had that kind of rotoscoped graphics where it kind of looks almost very real movements, realistic movements, especially for the time for a 16-bit platformer. Looked absolutely stunning. Yeah, really, really fun. Kind of cyberpunky adventure game if you ever fancy that. I think it's available on like those the PlayStation Store and all of that. If you ever fancy an old school game. The remake's not so good, but the original fantastic game. Have you got any other adventure games that you'd like to talk about?
I do, but I'm not entirely sure if it's classed as an adventure game.
It's classed as a game though, so let's talk about them anyway.
I think I've talked about this before. Maple Story.
I don't know if you have. What's Maple Story?
Well, it's a Korean made game. It's kind of like a chibi, not kind of anime. Like the small,
super deformed. Yeah.
Not super deformed, but like small, kind of look adorable figures.
Okay. 2D
platformer adventure. Online RPG kind of thing,
hybrid.
Where you start. It's a very obscure game. Not many people have heard about it, but it's got millions of players. Yet no one seems to know about it.
Oh.
It's like 2D platform adventure game. You choose your class. You can be like warrior, mage, rogue. You can be like dragon wizard and shit like that. So you choose your class. Well, you go through the starting island until you get to like level 10. Then you choose your class, and then you can go do missions and quests. And I think there's like 20 like cities, but in between them is like a vast, like you go through like a portal to one area. You've got to jump like through, kill all the enemies because the enemies constantly spawning that just go back and forth, kind of like Mario, and then portal to the next area.
Oh, I just looked it up. I love the art style. It's really
cool.
Yeah,
you see what I mean? It's not quite anime. It's kind of like chibi, kind of.
Yeah. It's really. I love how colourful it is. It's really bright and vibrant colours. It looks really cute.
Yeah. It's so much fun because I started playing it back in school because one of my friends who was into manga and anime told me about it because obviously he came into school with one of his manga books. So I was like, I love it's like a comic book, but better.
But a game, a game comic book.
So I borrowed a few books, got into manga. I actually back at my dad. I need him to post them to me. I got a load of like manga books back at my dad, and I love them. And then the game was kind of like that, and he was playing it. So he's like, "Yeah, play this game. It's free. Just download
really
it."
Fun. Yeah, it looks really gorgeous. It looks really fun and really cute. I like it. It looks fun.
And yeah, when obviously with level 10 you choose your class, and then when you get to level 30, you can your paths can split off. Say because I chose a magician, or a mage. So when you get to level 10, pick a mage, and then when to level 30, you can go. Do you want to be? You can be like a cleric, which is like holy magic and healing. You can be a fire and light, an ice and lightning magician, or you could be like fire and I can't remember what it was. So you got 3 to pick from, and then when you get, I think it's level 70 on that class, then there's another 3 options. Like say, do you want to be like holy magic and like destruction, holy magic healing, holy magic something else, and there was like fire and healing. So and then when you get to 120, there was another class as well, and you got to put your stats on like dex, strength, intelligence, stuff like that. It's so fun for a 2D platformer, and there's so much to do because it's like 20 cities and there's like 3 worlds.
Wow, that sounds really fun. It looks really cute. I really like the look of it. It looks fun.
Yeah, I think one of the hardest bosses was Zakum, I think.
Right.
He's like got like 6 arms, just shoots magic everywhere. You need about 7 people to do it.
Right.
It's so good. I kind of would class it as an adventure game because
this is the nice thing about doing adventure games because it's such a broad topic. You can kind of like find adventure games in almost any other genre as well, you know? It's like you get straight up adventure games, but then you also find a lot of adventure games that are, you know, like Uncharted is like an adventure game, right? They're adventure games.
I've been playing that as well.
Have you? Which one have you been playing? Which Uncharted game?
Well, I got the Nathan Drake trilogy
great.
Set online. So I've only played about an hour, maybe hour and a half of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Just
I'm not sure if it's to me it's kind of Tomb Raider, but not Tomb Raider.
Well, that's kind of what it is. I mean, they are kind of Tomb Raider. They're very action packed, more so than Tomb Raider, I would say. I'm not sure how well the first one will have aged now, but certainly the second one. Oh my goodness. Uncharted 2 is just one of the most fun action adventure games I've played. It's amazing. It's so cinematic, some of the things that happen in those games. They're great fun. Once you get into them, they're really good fun. But you're right, they are basically
male Tomb Raider.
Male Tomb Raider, yes, a male protagonist Tomb Raider. There is a female character they introduce later in the series that you play as for some of the DLC and stuff, so it could be exactly like Tomb Raider. But yeah, I absolutely love the Uncharted series. Me and my housemate actually played through the last game together towards the end, and I really enjoyed it. Really well written and really good fun. Indiana Jonesy Tomb Raider adventure games, really good. So
Indiana Jones Tomb Raider, that's it. That's what the words I was looking for. Obviously, words aren't working for me this morning. I suppose it's now.
We all have days. It was morning when we started, but we all have days like that. You know, it happens.
Well, I did wake up with a hangover.
Oh really? Oh damn! It was a heavy night.
No, we were just watching films and drinking. Well, I was drinking. Chrissy's kind of not drinking at the moment. She's trying to get back in health, and I'm just bored.
Fair enough. It's nice to unwind every now and again.
Yeah, only on weekends though.
Have you? How do you feel about the Zelda games? Have you ever played any Zelda games?
I've never played a Zelda game.
No,
I've never had Nintendo.
Yeah, that's the thing, because Nintendo's exclusive with their
I've
stuff.
had a Wii and a DS and a Game Boy, but never an actual console.
Well, I think Zelda games for me are some of the best adventure games out there. Really, I assume you know what Zelda is. You play as Link.
Yeah, I've watched the Game Grumps play their playthrough of Breath of the Wild.
Oh, Breath of the Wild,
looks
so
absolutely amazing.
Good.
And I really want to play it. Yeah. And I really want to get a Nintendo Switch to play it.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I can't justify.
No, it's a lot of money. But eventually, if it'll come down in price.
Yeah, if I bought the game, I could potentially borrow Oak, the eldest boy. I could probably borrow his Switch during the day when he's doing schoolwork, which he never bloody does. So I could potentially borrow his Switch, but I don't think he would like that.
No, kids do get a bit, possessive over their possessions.
Oh yeah, they're a pain in the ass. Trust me,
Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is wonderful. I mean, I've got the first Legend of Zelda I have on the NES, and Legend of Zelda 2. I have pretty much all the Zelda games at this point, and I've always really enjoyed them. I think the first one was like an open world adventure. Semi-open world adventure, top down, with simple graphics, and they kind of kept that format. Well, apart from the second one, Adventure of Link was like a side-scrolling platform RPG. It's kind of a black sheep of the series, but generally is that top-down view. Link to the Past, which is probably my favorite of all of them, but the one that I find most interesting outside of Breath of the Wild is actually Majora's Mask, which came out after Ocarina of Time on the N64. And the really cool thing about Majora's Mask is that you've got a time limit of 3 days. So the moon is going to destroy the land that you're in, the world that you're in 3 days, and you've only got 3 days to save the world. And basically, it's a real time clock. It's about 50 odd minutes, I think, like an hour in real time that you've got to complete the game. So if you don't complete the game in an hour, everything gets destroyed. But basically, you're not going to complete it in an hour the first time you play. So effectively, when you first play, you play through, and then after an hour, the time's passed, the clock's up, the moon destroys Termia, and you basically lose everything. But it resets back to the first day every time you die. But your like sort of your player progress and your major accomplishments are saved. So basically, it's a game where you have to keep going back and replaying and figuring out the best way to do things, and you get more powers to kind of like slow down time and do things like that. It's a really interesting, fun game where you initially play and you will definitely fail the first time you play, but then you learn how to do certain things and complete certain puzzles, and you have to remember what you've done before to kind of play through the game. It's really interesting and really fun. But honestly, when Breath of the Wild came out, Breath of the Wild might even beat Link to the Past for me for Zelda games. Which I never thought I would say, but Breath of the Wild,
it looks so good. I really want to play it.
Stunning. It looks. To be honest, from what I've seen of Horizon, which came out around the same time, they've got a lot in common. But Zelda,
no, I can see that.
Breath of the Wild is tremendous. You've basically, obviously, you have to defeat Ganon as you frequently do, but you've lost your memory
in every game,
pretty much. But you've lost your memory. You have to kind of retrieve your memory and find out who you are and why you're there and what you're doing. But
so there's the temples in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, so
obviously I haven't played it, but I've watched playthroughs.
They're puzzles. They're just big puzzles. Yeah. Every temple's like a puzzle. The open world is kind of more, traversing terrain and defeating enemies. Whereas the temples are all puzzles. They're puzzle based. There's occasional bosses, but they're basically puzzle based. And a lot of physics.
Do you know what Breath of the Wild actually reminds me of?
What's that?
Elder Scrolls Online.
Okay, yeah. I can see that.
The open world, doing enemies, killing enemies in the open, but also going towards a objective that you've set. It does remind me of ESO, which is something I actually downloaded, and then we lost bloody internet.
Oh no!
I re-downloaded, I should say.
Yes, yeah. But what I really like about Breath of the Wild is that you've got this vast, massive open world. But you're kind of restricted by certain things, and so you have to find things to overcome obstacles. Like at the start of the game, you can go pretty much anywhere after you get out the tutorial level. But if you, for example, go to the polar biome, the kind of cold, icy biome, you'll just freeze to death and die. So you need warmer clothes, or you need to buy chilies. Like you can cook chilies and cook food, this like hot food to keep yourself warm. So you have to stay warm in the cold areas, and you have to stay cool in the warm areas. So like if you go to the desert, you'll just die of heat exhaustion. So you need to find ways of surviving in the desert.
I know there is one area that you need to have the iron heavy boots just to keep you down. I think it might be a water area or something like that.
Yeah.
That you need to do something underwater, but you need to stay down there.
You need to stay down. You also get powers you get water breathing outfits and things like that. Yeah, it's a real fun adventure game with a lot of you could lose yourself for absolute days in that world and play through. I actually had to stop when I first played it because I got to a point where I was just overwhelmed with the amount of things I had to do and where to go, and I'm just lost. But honestly, so much fun playing Breath of the Wild. It's a tremendous game, and I never thought I'd find a Zelda game that beat Link to the Past, but honestly it's close. It's that good.
Was that just some police sirens in the background?
Yeah, I think the police are
the
police are coming to get me. You know I live in Bristol, come on.
Yeah, I was about to say the nice calming tones of Bristol.
Yeah, central Bristol, man.
Sirens.
It's like sirens every 5 seconds. Yeah, it's never ending.
This is why I'm blessed to live in the country.
You are. I mean,
apart from the internet.
Whenever we're filming, filming movies is just constant. If you hear a siren, you're like, oh, just wait for the siren. Wait for the siren. Wait for it to go. Such a nightmare. But yes, Breath of the Wild. Fantastic game. Have you got any other adventure games you want to talk about?
I don't think it's classed as an adventure game, but I class it as. I think it's more of an RPG.
Okay.
It's Fallout 4.
Fallout 4. Yeah, well, I mean, there's adventure elements to that for sure. I replayed Fallout 4 recently. Actually, I started replaying.
See, I have, and I know I must be years behind, but I've only just figured out that they have DLCs. Fallout 4?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. A lot of them. Some of them are really good as well. Some of them,
I know.
You can. There's one where you can take over an entire vault. You can build your own vault.
What?
Yeah. You can turn a vault into a base. You basically you go to an old vault and you can make it into one of your homes. So you basically build your own vault. It's amazing.
See, I recently figured out that they had DLCs because I'm watching.
Dude,
I'm
it's
listening
Bethesda. There's always DLC. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I never knew because obviously other games that come when you load it up, it goes, do you want to buy DLC? With Fallout, it doesn't. So I thought it was just the standard game, but now I figured out that found out that there's loads of DLCs. It's at a point where I can't fucking afford any of them.
Yeah, well, one day you will. It'll come down in price, and also you can play through.
Just, probably next month. It's just obviously me and Chrissy with 2 boys and now a pup. It's sort of money's a bit tight, especially during lockdown, and me being signed off work. So
I think it's called Vault Tech Workshop is the DLC that lets you build your own vault, and you go to Vault 88. And once you get there, you can basically build a vault. It's great fun. I love Fallout 4. The Fallout 4 got a lot of a lot of stick when it came out.
Not as much stick as
No,
76.
yeah. I mean, 76 was actually terrible. Fallout 4 is a lot more consoleized, is a lot more action based, a lot more sort of light on the RPG. But I think it's fun, and it is more like an adventure game, and it is really good fun. I modded it recently to make it sort of quote unquote realistic in terms of its weaponry and bullet physics. So a bullet will kill you if it hits you in the head, you die. That kind of stuff, and it kind of makes the whole game a lot different because obviously you're playing it a lot more survivally then. But I really enjoy Fallout 4. Once I realized that I could just ignore the Minutemen altogether and just basically let them go away. Once I realized I could do that, I enjoyed the game a whole lot more, because one of the most annoying things for me was dealing with the bloody Minutemen. Once they were gone, I was actually way happier.
I've never actually finished Fallout 4. I have like 100 hours playing it, but I've never finished it.
Yeah, but I find that a lot with those big open RPGs, open worlds. I just get distracted and do my own thing.
I make my own story.
Yes, that's exactly what I like doing with Fallout 4. I like just roaming the wasteland and seeing what I come across and finding things.
Yeah, no, it's just explore and go like, oh no, mate, I'm not high enough level to go this area. Let's run away before they kill me. Explore somewhere else. And you kind of build yourself up. You get immersed in it. It's like, this character is me. We need to do this. We need to explore here. We need to try and survive. You just get lost in it. It's such a good game.
Oh, I just remembered where I got to. It's a problem.
Where?
Well, because I've got this realism mod where weapon damage really fucks you up fast. I think I might be screwed. I killed my son. I just shot him in the head. Which is fine, but now I have to get out of the building, which is gonna be a problem. I can tell you that's gonna be a problem. He's a dick. He deserved it.
He is, yeah.
He's an absolute dick.
I'd love to see a Durs playthrough with Fallout 4 on John Games.
All right, I could I'll give it a go. Why not?
Be funny.
I could record some Fallout 4. Maybe I will. Start from the start again and just roam the wasteland like a complete bastard. That'll be fun.
Right.
You up?
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
All right, maybe I will. I'll do a guest appearance on Sean Games playing some Fallout 4.
I think at the moment you're an honorary member now.
Oh, thank you. Well, as you are a full-fledged member of the Icons of Sin. By the way, I spoke to Daz the other day. He's up for our anniversary.
Oh, hell yeah!
And he said he may join us, every now and again. Pop in.
He's always welcome.
Oh, that's exactly what I said. I said we'd love to have him on, and I said I'll let him know once we've got a topic for the next episode. I said we'll let you know, and if you're free, come on. Feel free to join us. But yeah, he's up for the live stream, so that's going to be fun. May,
I do actually have an idea for the next.
Well, I
podcast.
think we're wrapping this episode up. I didn't mention Shadowgate or Mist, but that's fine. What?
Oh, you can carry on. I'm good to carry on if you want.
Well, I'm excited now. Tell me about the next episode, anyway.
I was thinking, because we talk about Fallout and stuff a lot.
We do, actually. We
could do an episode on the games Bethesda have made. We could do a Bethesda episode.
I'm up for a Bethesda episode, actually. There's some interesting games. I'm up for that.
Yeah, we could talk about like Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout,
Terminator.
ESO. They did a Terminator game?
They did about 3 or 4 Terminator games back in the day.
Well, I think that sounds like we've got a topic for next episode, which is surprising.
Up for that. So Bethesda games. That's not like us. We normally come up with these topics like last minute these days. So,
yeah, last minute.
That's good. Yeah, I'm up for Bethesda games for sure. I'm up for Bethesda games.
Last week when we were supposed to do the podcast, but I was ill. We came up with the idea the topic of the podcast the day before.
It was literally the day before. But it's like, adventure games are so open and vast that it's not a problem. There's plenty of things to talk about. But I'm definitely up for covering. We will do Bethesda games next time. We'll go through history of Bethesda games and talk about our favourite Bethesda games. We can
actually do like a sort of like what you and Daz used to do. We can kind of do a sort of deep dive on Fallout, because I know we've both got a lot to say about Fallout.
Oh, for sure. I've got a lot to say about Fallout and what Bethesda did with Fallout. So yeah, I'm up for that.
I've got a lot to say about Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls series, to be fair.
I reckon Daz might enjoy that as well. I'll let him know, see if he fancies joining us.
Yeah, definitely. Get Daz in.
Come join us, Daz. Join us, Daz. Is the new intro, which you haven't seen yet, because you haven't seen this episode yet. But there's a new intro, and Daz is still in the intro. I promised he would be in every intro we do. He's in the new intro. So.
Oh yeah, we can't get rid of him from the intro. He's the OG.
He's in every intro. But yeah, so I am definitely up for that, man. It sounds like a lot of fun to me. So next time we will cover Bethesda games, the history of Bethesda, and a deeper discussion into the Fallout series, which I think is something it's well overdue for us, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. We mentioned Fallout pretty much every time.
Yeah. But yeah, well, I think that'll about do it for this episode. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. T-shirts are on their way. And
yes, indeed. I will post on the Icons Facebook page. Go follow it if you haven't. I will post as soon as our T-shirts arrive. And I will let you know how you can purchase one. But they are going to be amazing. And I cannot wait. So, yeah. Thank you guys for listening.
And we will catch you next time.